Kereisos Daf Yud Zayin. We're coming off somewhat of a complicated sugya, so just to recap quickly. Rebbe Kiva asked Rebbe Eliezer, what's the halacha if somebody did many melachas on Shabbos, on many Shabbosos? How many korbanos does he have to bring? One or many korbanos? And Rebbe Eliezer proved it to him from a nida, from a kal v'chomer. The question is, what's Rebbe Kiva's question? Is he asking if somebody forgot that it's Shabbos completely? Shigiga Shabbos? Or is he asking in a situation where the person forgot that the malacha is asur? Shigigas malacha. Big difference. Rambam says that he asked a question regarding a person who forgot that the malacha is asur. And what is this question? Do we say that every Shabbos is a guf mechulak? So every Shabbos will create a new isser. If a person did the same malacha on two Shabbos, since they have different entities, he's chayiv too. Rav Chizda says, no, the question was in a person who forgot that it's Shabbos completely. And what lies behind the question? Do we say that the days between the Shabbos, from Sunday to Friday, that's considered a yediyah l'chalik? That's enough to give him awareness and be mechayiv him. The Gemara brings two brises that contradict each other l'chayra. In a situation where a person who's chayiv on ksiva, you chayiv ksiva if you write two letters on Shabbos. What if a person wrote only one letter on this Shabbos, and the following Shabbos he wrote an additional letter in one awareness? On the one hand, Ram Gamliel says he's potter. On the other brisa, he says he's chayiv. Says Rav Chizda, I could explain it if we explain the brisa that goes according to Rebbe Akiva, that Shabbos, two Shabbosim have gufim chulakim. Then I could explain how a person is potter. He did it on Shabbos A, and on Shabbos B is a different guf than Shabbos A. So we could use this svara l'kula also. You can't combine the two letters, and therefore the person is potter. But according to Rabbah, how do we explain the two brises? In both situations, if it's considered one guf, indeed, he should be chayiv, because you can be mitzaref Shabbos A to Shabbos B. It's considered one guf, one Shabbos. He should be chayiv. Says the Gemara, the brisa goes according to Rebbe Eliezer, not Rebbe Kiva. The Rebbe Eliezer in the Mishnah, who's mechulik with Rebbe Kiva, he holds that Shabbosim are two gufim. We just have to explain, because in the brisa it says umayder Rebbe Gamliel, that he's potter. Rebbe Gamliel admits that means that there's machlokes here. So if you explain that it goes according to Rebbe Kiva argues with Rebbe Gamliel. In what case? In a case where a person forgot that it's Shabbos. And we say that the days in between Shabbosim, yesh li yediyah l'chalik. Rebbe Gamliel says, but there's no yediyah l'chalik for a half a shear. So if a person did one ice, you can't have an awareness after you did a half a malacha, says Rebbe Gamliel. But Rebbe Kiva says you could. That is considered an awareness. Therefore, there's machlokes. So the words umayda make sense. Now he admits, Rebbe Gamliel to Rebbe Kiva, that two Shabbosim are considered two gufim. But where is Rebbe Eliezer mechulik on Rebbe Gamliel? According to Rebbe Eliezer, we don't understand what umayda means, because in Yediyah, Mechalkos, he admits to Rebbe Gamliel. And even in Arig Echad, where a person adds one thread to an existing garment, according to both Rebbe Gamliel and Rebbe Eliezer, you're chayav. So where do they argue? The Gemara brings a case where a person took out from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus HaRabim a half a shear. The shear of a tzah is a gergeris, a dried fig. He took out a half a fig. And then, 10 minutes later, he took out another half. He's chayiv. But what if he did it? He took out one half to Rishus HaRabim A, and the other half to Rishus HaRabim B. They are not mitzdarif according to Rebbe Gamliel. And in that case, Rebbe Eliezer is mechulik, and he says, yes, you're chayiv. And the Gemara says, umayda, however, even though it's a half a shear and half a shear, over there they argue. But when it comes to letters, umayda Rebbe Gamliel says he's potter. The other thing that the Gemara wants to understand is, how do we explain the wording in the Mishnah, nida? Rebbe Eliezer brought a raya from nida. Now, if the question is on if Shabbos is a guf mechulak, one Shabbos to another Shabbos guf mechulak, so we should be talking about two nidas. That's similar to two Shabbosim. So in fact, if that's what you hold, you have to say in the Mishnah that the wording is nidas. And if you say that the question is if there's an awareness, if the days are considered an awareness, so then we could say, in fact, we're talking about one nida. Now, what kind of an awareness does a nida have? If she goes to the mikvah and she waits, and then she's with her husband again, and she goes to the mikvah again, each time she goes, that's considered days in between that create an awareness. And with that, we finish the perek Amrulai. Following perek, the Mishnah is discussing Asham Tali. Asham Tali, if a person has a piece of chaylev in front of him, and he eats it, and he's not sure if it's chaylev or not, he's chayiv al Asham Tali, according to one man Amar. The other man, the Omar, says, no, you need to have two pieces in front of you. If you take one out of the two, then you are chayiv. The same thing would apply if a person had a suffix if he's with his wife or with his sister, or if he had a suffix if it was Shabbos or a weekday, he brings Asham Tali. As you bring a chatos, as many chatos as you bring, that's how many Asham Talis you bring. Now, according to everybody, if there's two pieces in front of you and you take one out of the two, of course you chayiv Asham Tali. The question is whether we say Yeshem Lemikra or Ein Lemasiris. The Torah says, Mikol mitzvahs Hashem asher loisaseno, mitzvahs, but it's written mitzvahs, Ein Lemasiris. So if you say Ein Lemasiris, all you need in front of you is one piece. If you say Yeshem Lemikra, the way we read it, mitzvahs, you need in front of you two pieces. Rabbi Eliezer says all you need in front of you is one piece. Therefore, if a person eats a koi, which is a suffix chaya, suffix behema, so the chaylev is also suffix because you're allowed to eat the chaylev of a chaya. Rabbi Eliezer holds you don't need two pieces in front of you, so even if you eat out of one koi, the same applies by a yavama whose husband died, she falls the yibum, and she didn't wait 3 months, and she gave birth. Now we don't know if her child is from her first husband or from the yavam. So she has to get divorced, and according to Rabbi Eliezer, she has to bring a korban, even though there's a situation of just one chaticha. Same applies to a person who checked himself after he's with his wife, and he found dam. He for sure was with a nida, he has to bring a korban. If the wife checked right away, for sure she has to bring a korban. But if she checked much later, it's a suffix. And here again, we have to say that goes according to Rabbi Eliezer, that says even on one suffix, you are chayiv. Have a wonderful day.